He's a very special friend of ours, Mr. Adrian Scott.
Just let me tell you something about Adrian. He was Kylie Minogue's MD for a very long time, travelled the world with Kylie, I think, yeah. And he was in that very famous band Air Supply as keyboardist. And he designs for Roland, so most of the synthesizers you see anywhere for the last 30 years, Adrian sort of designed, didn't you?
Yes, I was 5 when I started. Thank you for bringing that up.
Very, very clever man. So, Adrian, can we start, what got you into music?
Music, I loved it as a kid. My dad was a singer, used to sing in church, and I tried to copy him. My brother had piano lessons, and I tried to copy him.
You must have had piano lessons.
Not at first. I just sat there and annoyed him.
Were you by ear?
Huge fights.
Did you?
Huge fights, yeah.
Okay.
And then my crowning moment, I think, was I was in grade 4, and I was a bit of a smart ass and would talk a lot to the people in the class, and the teacher got really upset with me, and so she ran out, Mrs. Stewart, ran out to the principal and said, "Adrian, look after the class, make sure they behave." And I thought, this is totally back to front. But she came back, and there I was standing on her table with the entire class singing. And I thought I'd done a great job because they were all under control. But that got back to my mum, and so then she decided I should have piano lessons.
Or conducting lessons too.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I remember coming around to your place once, and you had very hard Chopin that I was trying to play, and we were both, because we had a couple of wines, I think. But I think we.
You must have had more than me. Cause
very hard piece, but you can play classical, I know. But you mainly pop.
Yeah, mainly pop. Originally, I started as a singer. My parents moved overseas, so I lived with my grandmother for a little while, and she put me on a show called Brian and the Juniors.
Oh, were you on that?
So I
were you a regular on that?
Started out as a singer, yeah.
Oh, I wish I could remember.
And then
you would have been the young, blonde, good-looking one. Boy, I mean.
I was bald even then. At 13 years old and bald, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you were on Brian and That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, so I started mainly singing, and the piano just became a means to an end, so I could work. But even then, my father was still singing, so I'd play piano for him.
Okay. You were saying before too, we had Paul O'Gorman on earlier. That particular song contest, the Yamaha contest, he won. Did he win it?
He won that year when he was singing, and my song came second. I wasn't singing, it was Ray Burgess was singing.
Did you write it?
Yes.
What was it called?
It was, I was thinking at the time that it was hilarious. I was upset at the time that I lost to a song called Ride, Ride America, and being an Australian sort of thing. But my song was called Eagles Must Fly, which is not that much different when you think about it. And then my demo was recorded by Air Supply, so I think that's...
Did they end up recording it on their albums?
No.
What a drag.
No, yeah, it would have been a bit of money, don't you think?
It would have been good, yeah. And also the Roland stuff. Tell us about designing. And you go over to Japan every 6 weeks, don't you?
You used to do it all the time. These days, unfortunately or fortunately, we have the internet, and so they'll send me information, and I'll create sounds or ideas, and then just email it back, so and we'll meet once a year, sort of thing.
He invents the pianos. You actually invent the sounds.
I don't invent the pianos, but yes, thank you very much.
Just amazing, amazing. And Air Supply, did you used to travel a lot with them?
No, not so much. The first couple of albums I worked with them, but you have to remember that we were really struggling back then. There's no way, even now, if you saw Air Supply come to this country, they wouldn't feel like a Hamer Hall.
No.
But they are, or were, the first band to have top 5 hits in a row in America.
That's amazing. More so than Little River Band?
More than Little River Band, more than the Beatles, more than Rolling Stones. They were the first people to do it.
Were you with them then?
Yeah.
Where's your Rolls? I didn't see it. Roll up in a Rolls Royce tonight.
No. It still took years before that became the popularity that they enjoy now.
Incredible, fantastic.
Very sad.
Hey, we've got a thing called the Boogie Bash.
Yeah.
And do you want to join me on the Boogie Bash, on the fantastic
on the Schimmel? On the Schimmel.
Have you played a Schimmel before?
I haven't, and congratulations to Bernie for these pianos. I was standing over there while you were playing for Paul, and earlier on when you were playing, and they have such an incredible dynamic range. They're just
Amazing.
Remarkable.
Amazing.
I will say that Roland make the best electronic piano.
Do they?
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you design them, they must be.
No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's just, I will temper that remark because nothing really is perfect. Nothing gets to that level of perfection of a real acoustic piano. But the Roland pianos at the moment have dynamics that approach that.
Yeah, well.
And no other electronic piano.
You got a
at the
physics
moment.
degree, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's why he's into all sounds. We're going to do the Boogie Bash. Let's hear it for Adrian Scott. Fantastic.
Piano Talk.
Now it's time for the Boogie Bash. Whatever that is, you'll find out.